I've noticed that there's a certain trend when it comes to people who find my content, um, and it's that they don't really understand that the awkwardness that they perceive, the way that I do things, my mannerisms, my quirks, the odd silences between words, the strange way I do things, uh, the minimal editing that I do, leaving leaving like problems in, or just like making a point that goes nowhere when I talk. Um, they don't seem to grasp that that's an intentionality. They don't seem to grasp that what I'm trying to do is facilitate a place where I can hopefully spread the idea that awkwardness is not a flaw. You know, um, sometimes you're gonna contradict yourself. Sometimes you're gonna say something stupid. Sometimes you're gonna fuck up a line and leave it in. Sometimes shit's gonna happen, and leaving that stuff in is like a big part of it. It's the identity of my channel, and it's the message that I hope to relay, that it's okay to leave that stuff in, because it's not something that we've become too accustomed. Hold on, let me take that down. We've become too accustomed lately to the idea that everything has to be combed through and cleaned up, and all the ugly ends have to be cut off for everyone's convenience. My content is not convenient. My content is not comforting. My content is entirely me. It is all of me, even the ugly parts. You have to leave those in, otherwise you're not being real. You're not being authentic. So I play up fully my own authenticity uh, in order to make my wider point, that my wider point is just generally that we've become too accustomed to having to intellectualize everything. We have to think so much about everything. We're driven mad, anxious about what everything means. What does it mean? What does it mean? Why is she holding a plush scorpion? What does it mean? It means nothing. Or more specifically, it means whatever you want it to mean. Nothing means anything specifically. Trying to figure out what it means is just lying to yourself, because you're going to come up to something that's be like, oh, these are actually the themes. When in reality, that's you. You made that up. And you're not going to admit that you made that up. You have to admit that you are the arbiter of your own reality. Alright? Everyone is God. And therefore, everyone can make reality what they want. They can make the world what they make of it. They don't have to abide by some system that tells them what things are. We don't have to do that. We've gotten stuck in this fucking place where we feel like so often we have to just like do what makes sense to everyone. I don't have to do that. Fuck that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to keep doing things the way I do, and if it prevents me from having that big of an audience, big fucking whoop. Those people aren't going to be the ones that stick around. The ones that stick around are going to be the ones that are able to overlook that shit. They're able to see past it. Or, at the very least, they are able to see art in it. They're able to see that the awkwardness is intentional, and that they will see that as a perk. they will see that as a positive. And I advise all of you to do the same. I advise all of you to stop caring so much about how something turns out in the end. You know, I've been working on this video for a long time. This music genre sort of explanation video. It's this comprehensive video series. I'm basing it on the works of like LJ and Lambert. They did this. These people did these videos on like music genre icebergs. But what I did instead was that I cataloged every single music genre that I could find. I did not just go off of an iceberg chart. I did all the work myself. I gathered every single music genre that I could find off of Rate Your Music and any other sources. And it was grueling work, but the hardest part so far has been the recording process and the writing process, like writing descriptions as such, because the thing is that I'm worried about not making sense. I'm worried about alienating people. I'm worried about not being able to reach the lowest common denominator. But the more that I think about it, it seems strange that I care so much about that, when any other time, I wouldn't care at all. Most of my videos recently have been a testament to how little I care. I forgot to put on my fucking gloves. There's my point. That's an addition to my point. Everyone cares so much about having everything perfect the first time. Everything has to be perfect. Every little small fucking detail has to be meticulously crafted to the T. But it doesn't. You're lying to yourself if you're I have a friend. I won't name her out of respect, but she used to be a pretty big or decently sized anime YouTuber. At least I think that's what it was. Anime analysis. That's what it seemed to be. It was just general analysis. They were decently big, but the thing is that she was losing herself to her work. She was killing herself every fucking day, trying to make every fucking thing perfect. And in the end, she realized that this path only leads one way. The path of perfectionism, the path of intellectualism, the path of all these fucking corresponding ideas of everything needs to be this certain way, otherwise it will be alienating and it won't make sense and it will be garbage. All of these lead to one place: death and fascism. Every single time. So I am rejecting these outright. And in doing so, I will be completely dropping the topic of this video to do something else entirely. I'm going to be showing off my music collection. First off, we got Honestly Nevermind by Drake. Hell yeah. People hate this. People fucking hate this one. People don't really like Drake. Quite understandable. At least right now anymore. But I still love this album. He it's the first time that it really feels like he took a risk. You know, he made a house album. He made an entire album that is just a homage to the late Virgil Abloh, and specifically his deep house sets that he would do. This album even samples an interview with him when he was talking about his work on the cover of Kanye West's album Yeezus. I find this to be deeply moving in a way that I find this to be deeply moving in a way that a lot of Drake's work hasn't ever really gotten to. I still love Drake generally. I'm a Drake fan still, but this album in particular is definitely one where it really feels like he's trying to be an artist's artist on this one. You know, it didn't work. People didn't like it. Probably because it came out around the same time that Beyonce was basically doing the same thing. And you know, Beyonce was always gonna trounce Drake. Beyonce is like, you know, Beyonce is like one of the most revered artists ever. Yeah. Next up, we got my favorite psychedelic rock album ever made, Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix, or the Jimi Hendrix Experience. This one's a little cracked, as you can see. Yeah. But, yeah, this album is fucking genius. Every time I look at this shit, I'm like, there's no way that this shit is fucking real. I can't believe this album is real. Like, it blows my mind every single fucking time. The song progressions, everything about it. I listened to this album for the first time when I was walking home from work, and it was beating down heat, real fucking like heat wave. I was sweating my ass off, and I remember getting really fucking woozy outside. Like I was getting sick. And this album was like a perfect soundtrack to that, because I was like that walk was a psychedelic experience. Yeah. Fuck yeah. R.I.P. Jimi Hendrix. One of the GOATs. Next up, we got a very peculiar one. This is Mike Patton, Adult Theme for Voice. This album is, I believe is the first, I believe it's like Mike's solo debut. I'm don't quote me on that. And the entire album is just noises. It's just it is for voice. It is Mike Patton doing a cappella sound collage noise music, where every sound on the album is his voice, and he takes full advantage of his fucking vocal cords. I mean, he's a beast. Fucking Mike Patton is a fucking monster when it comes to his vocals. He shows it in full force here. You might know him from Faith No More, or Mr. Bungle. Yeah, he's a fucking genius. And this album is just, it's brain melting shit. We got a 2-for-1 deal. We got both of my favorite Linkin Park albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. These are definitely to me like a 2-for-1 deal. You know, everyone, I'm really glad that like people are starting to enjoy nu metal again. It makes me really happy that we're back at that point where we can just enjoy good music. For so long, because of how like oversaturated the nu metal scene was, it got to the point where everyone was like, "Oh, this shit is awful. Oh, fuck nu metal. Oh, I don't want electronic and rap in my metal." And they forget how revolutionary nu metal was to the entire metal genre. They forget how many great, wonderful fucking evolutions these fucking bands introduced. You fucking like Slipknot, Korn, all these fucking bands. They were paving the way for a lot of the future bands we have now. So, Linkin Park is very much a part of that ballpark. Like I saw like an interview with I think it's like Mike Shinoda, I think that's his name. And he talked about like a lot of the music he liked, and he mentioned Aphex Twin, and I was like, it made me think of their music very differently, because it's not IDM, but there is a lot of electronic influence, and they kind of play their music like they're like an electronic metal band. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. On the same note, Slipknot's not technically not their debut, because Mate Feed, I think it was Mate Feed, Kill Repeat, or is it Feed Mate Kill Repeat? I don't remember. That was their debut, but this is their like official studio debut. Their self-titled Slipknot. This one's pretty good. I like Iowa better than this, but still a very, very pummeling album. I mean, Slipknot, like early Slipknot, they were known for one thing, and it was they would beat your fucking head in. Those riffs, fucking brutal. I'm not gonna show some of these for too long, because Hell the King, Avenged Sevenfold, I don't give a shit about this album anymore. It's a Metallica Black Album tribute. I already don't like the Black Album. There's some good songs on there, but Genesis Greatest Hits. I inherited this from my family, of course. Genesis are pretty good. I love Genesis, actually. Adult-oriented rock, the arena rock stuff, that shit gets like shat on way too much. Yeah. Remember, Halo 3 soundtrack, very important to me. I think this was one of the first CDs that I personally bought. Or no, I didn't buy it. I definitely got it for Christmas. Yeah, it was the first CD that I like personally owned. Oh. And I was just such a fucking massive Halo fan. I have so much of this soundtrack like memorized just off the top of my head. And the thing is that Halo 3 wasn't even my favorite Halo game. But the soundtrack was just next level shit to me. My favorite Halo game is Halo Reach, which also just so happened to be my first Halo game. This is the first album I've ever listened to in full. This is Mad Season by Matchbox 20. Very peculiar thing to listen to for in full for the first time. I must have been like a fucking toddler. But I still love this album to this day. It's kind of garnered this weird sort of this weird kind of ethereal quality to it in my life, where I remember getting sick one day, like really, really sick. So sick that I was like bedridden, and I put this on, and I remember it going through the entire fucking thing, and I thought the album was over. And then not so long after, the final track, "You Won't Be Mine," has like this string section during the middle of it. Uh, and that usually just plays during the song. But there was like, and this was before I knew that this was a trend in the 2000s. But there was like, I think like 5 to 10 minutes of silence, and then the fucking strings come back. And that was the most surreal moment in music I had ever experienced in my life. Like, the album I thought was fucking over continued to play and was playing this sort of ominous string section from like the song I had just heard, but it just felt so much more ominous and surreal. It was just crazy. Yeah, that's that. Of course. My old problematic favorite. Old problematic favorite right here. Philosophem by Burzum. Pretty important to me. This was I think this was like the first, I almost want to say, extreme metal album that I really fell in love with, because up until this point I was just obsessed with new metal and alternative metal and all the pop metal stuff. But when I started getting into the harder stuff with Burzum, well, technically I started with a lot of deathcore stuff that my friend was getting me into, but like the real harsh stuff, the stuff that was like really a test of my limits, this was the first time that I learned that I was kind of a musical masochist. Because this album is recorded like shit. Well, it's amazing. It sounds amazing, but like the recording is just like all the guitars sound like pure fucking sludge. It is intense. And some of the songs like go on for fucking ever, and they just keep plotting on these same riffs over and over, and it really just tests you. But it's really rewarding if you give it a fucking go. I highly recommend it, even though Varg Vikernes is a dumbass fucking white nationalist. But yeah, that's Philosophem, Burzum. Very good. Oh shit. Yeah, this is my mother's Crazy Mix. This was a mixtape that my mom made that I just kind of inherited because it was kind of good, and it gave me a taste for like my varied experience that I have in music now. It was like I can't remember the order now, but there was just like so many different slices of different kinds of pop and rap and rock, and it really gave me a full like platter of shit to feast on when I was a kid. And it's definitely the key that made it to why my taste in music is so varied to this day. What else do I got here? Yeah. We got Elvedi, 2 Elvedi albums here. Helvetios and Origins. Very good, very good. I inherited these from my father, actually, because he was a really big fan of them. These are like Celtic metal albums, in that they are metal, like melodic death metal bands that also use like Celtic instruments as like ornamentation that play melodies over their brutal riffs. It's pretty fucking stellar. Important shit right here. Here Comes Science by They Might Be Giants. This is their album for children. I had this when I was a kid because I was like really into science, and they got this for me. My family did. And man, I remember so much of this being like, just, I used to listen to this on loop. Some of these songs were like fucking immediate replays over and over and over again. I must have annoyed the fuck out of my family with that. Let me put these back, because now that we're done with the CDs, we're gonna get into my vinyls. Just give me a second. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. Let me just lay all these out. Hell yeah. Cool. Alright. How many fucking albums do I have? Holy shit. Okay. Oh, cool. Alright. First, we're gonna start with, I never expected to get my hands on this. This is Silver Apple's this is their Silver Apple's debut. It was like made in like, yeah, 1968. 1968. I really like this vinyl particularly because I have a special version of it. If I can pull it out real quick. Special. Yeah, clear with little black speckles on it. Let's take a close look at this fucking thing. Like, fuck, man. Hell yeah. Silver Apples were a very revolutionary band for their time, because they essentially made techno music in the 60s. They used oscillators to create these kind of wavy electronic sound spheres where the drummer would fucking create these very staccato, very, very, polyrhythmic rhythms on it. Very mathy, very, very, again, it's just like techno. It's just like IDM techno, but like in the 60s. It's fucking insane that it even exists. Highly recommended, highly recommended. Next up, we got the Carpenters. Passage. Hell yeah. Fuck. This was their weird one that, like, basically fucked their career, essentially. They like a 7, 8, 9 minute long song about fucking aliens. And it's fucking amazing. They went progressive. That one of the songs is like from an opera. You know, they have like they still have like their usual like adult contemporary sounds, but they inject so many new ideas. There's like smooth jazz on one of these. They're really experimenting on this album, and it's fucking stellar. I mean, I highly recommended. Next up we got, of course, Immortal, the Death Grips, Year of the Snitch. Year of the Snitch. Hell yeah. I love Death Grips. Obviously, they fucking, their reputation precedes them. This is possibly their strangest one, you know, right next to like N-Words on the Moon. But you know, they start playing with like krautrock instrumentation. There's a little bit of jazz in there. They're doing like kind of grindcore stuff on the songs like Shit Show. Highly recommended. It's just very psychedelic, very surreal, very, very, very woozy. Buffy Saint Marie. Little Wheels Spin and Spin. I used this album very specifically. This thing's falling apart. I got this in like the 99 cent section. Most of the stuff here I got from 99 cent. But the rest of this is like full price shit. But this is the only one that I've listened to in full. And I used this in a fucking goddamn in a performance art piece that I did on my channel. Pretty sure I played it while I was like cutting myself. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience. Lana Del Rey, Born to Die. I gotta speed through these, otherwise I'm gonna take another fucking hour on this. Yeah, very cool. Basically, kind of pioneered the alt pop stuff that would start taking over later on in 2010. But yeah, Lana Del Rey. She knows what she's doing. Enter the Wu-Tang Clan. Obviously, classic. The thing that people don't talk about this is that it's so fucking raw. It's like the rawest fucking hip hop I've heard. Like, you know, like right next to like a lot of the Memphis stuff that was going on. It's kind of nuts that this is like a revered like classic that everyone comes back to because it's so fucking raw. It's like half of the beats sound like they were made in like a fucking dungeon. Obviously, my favorite fucking band of all time, Swans, The Beggar. Good lord, man, they just never disappoint, and this album in particular just like broke me because it was before Birthing came out. I thought this was gonna be their last album, and like I was broken because like, man, they really like nailed home that like, yeah, I mean like Michael Girard is only gonna be alive for so long, and you know Michael Girard is like my fucking hero. What's all this? What is this? I never opened this. Oh, I never saw this. Oh, I guess I got a poster. Oh, I gotta hang that up somewhere. I gotta hang that up. Okay. I'm gonna put that up there for now. Alright, next up. The Prodigy Experience. The best, hands down, the best breakbeat album. You cannot. Also, this is better than Fat of the Land. I will fight you on that. That is an opinion that I will fight you on. Fat of the Land is not nearly as stimulating as this raw piece of fucking slacked up fucking vinyl. Damn, man. And this right here is the Avenged Sevenfold album that I give a fuck about. This is Life is But a Dream. For some reason, people are so fucking dense that they couldn't fathom that this is actually a fucking masterpiece. Like, hold on. that came out weird, mic keeps cutting off. If that didn't come out the way I wanted it to, then whatever. Okay. Anyway, this is a good album. You need to fucking listen to this shit immediately. I think my face isn't coming through. Fuck. Dr. Dre's a shit. Dr. Dre's a shit. He could make some fucking beats. That's what I'm gonna say. Obviously, Drake fan right here. You know, I got views on vinyl. Who the fuck is doing that? Like, seriously, I'm a fucking insane person. Like, good God, man, I got fucking Drake's views on vinyl. Tubular Bells, obviously, classic. Gotta love how those fucking arrangements, just like doing that all on your own is just like you gotta be psychotic, Mike Oldfield, man. I love Supreme, of course. Just, I can't believe that like some of these fucking pieces exist. Like, jazz is just such a pure art form, man. Just pure soul melting out every single fucking note. Fuck you, Kanye. That's all I'm gonna say. Fleetwood Mac, of course. Rumors. I'm a white person, so therefore I'm generally obligated to like Fleetwood Mac, I guess. Is that the rule? Hell yeah. Inagata de Vida. Iron Butterfly. This is like my second favorite psychedelic rock album. I mean, it's really just, it really just comes down to that title track, man. That title track fucking blows most bands out of the fucking water. And oh my god, wait, why is it just it's just white? What? Hold on, wait. Can I get a fucking yeah. This is the Beatles' White Album. Fuck. No, Izzy! There we go. Yeah. Pretty fucking cool. Revolution 9, you should give it a listen. Of course, a jazz collection is not complete without Ornette Coleman. Just a fucking psychopath, man. He played that shit like he was trying to fucking murder it. If I hear fucking one more word about how Sleep Token is not real metal, I will fucking stab you in the throat. That's all I'm gonna say. We're burning through all these. Anyway. Let's try Mask Replica. This is one of the most insane pieces of music ever made. If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend it. It's like blues took bath salts. Like a blues musician took a bunch of fucking bath salts and went fucking nuts. Bruce Springsteen, the best Bruce Springsteen album, Nebraska. He just sat in a room with an 8-track, a guitar, and a harmonica, and he just fucking sang about murderers and death, and it's his most depressing album, and it's just, God, it is corrosive to the soul. You got buns, I got Asperger's. I love this album. Unironically. I'll leave it to the comments. This is my prize. This is my most prized collection here. I'm so fucking happy to this day to have this record. The fact that I even have it at all is like, I'm like, this is Kitty Dog Music Album by Kitty Dog. If you don't know who Kitty Dog is, you're dumb. No, not just kidding. Kitty Dog is a animation meme YouTuber. Got into a lot of fucking controversy over a bunch of dumb shit that was already settled. If you want to fight me about that, fuck off. And nobody fucking talks about her music because her music is just stellar every single time. I don't know what the fuck she does different. She just fucking she has the gift. Like Zola just has the fucking gift. And finally, full censored cover for some fucking reason, because apparently Stick It In Your Ear can't handle having fucking autopsy photos on their fucking store page. So this is Carcass Recaputrefaction. This is the... I think this is like the very first Gore Grind album. Yeah, it's just fucking brutal, disgusting even. Just pure rancid noise. It'll fuck you. It will literally fuck you. I think that's it. Alright. Oh. Put these up. Come on. There we go. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Alright, cool. We good. Alright. So, to wrap this up, yeah, just do what you want. Just, take your fucking videos. Stop caring about how people are gonna receive them. Stop caring about how people are gonna receive you. All right, because this whole cancel culture bullshit, this idea that like, ruining someone's career is like a valid punishment for like, if somebody's committed a real crime, I think losing your career is like a pretty tame response to that. So it's like, what the just like, stop caring about this shit and just go for whatever you're doing, alright? By any valid means necessary, alright? You gotta fight for your right to be heard, man. And, you gotta be heard in full. You can't just fucking accept that you gotta cut yourself down to, like, the bare essentials. You gotta cut all your ugly bits off. Fuck that. Fuck that. Alright? Be yourself. Be yourself entirely. Unapologetically. Fuck the critics. Fuck the audience. Except for the people who like me. I love you. I love all of you. All the people who like this video, I love you. And I mean that parasocially. Entirely. Entirely parasocially. I'm a parasocial being. You're fucking talking to me across the fucking web. And you know what? I'm gonna be making a fucking Discord soon. So, anybody who's above 18, we coming out. We coming out the fucking woodwork.